I've seen a lot of films in my lifetime, but I think my favorite would have to be Braveheart. I do a lot of research into the medieval time period, and if you know me personally, you would probably say that I'm infatuated with the medieval time period. I've really loved what Hollywood has done to movies like Braveheart, because they've taken now a romance and action and put them together to make a romance action film. To start out with the movie scenes, it really starts out in the beginning as a love or a romance film, because in the beginning you see Mel Gibson playing the part of William Wallace, and he's a small boy, he's living on a farm with his father and brother. The English during this time period are, well, first of all, the Scottish king died with no heirs, and the English king is fighting the Scots for the crown of Scotland, so England can rule Scotland also. This is when the English are coming in and invading Scotland, and they're raiding villages, they're killing people, they're raping women, they're taking children away from parents and things like that. Well, William's father and brother go off to fight the English, but they are killed in battle, and leaving William left there alone. His uncle comes and brings him and takes him in and takes him off and educates William, bringing him into, up to terms with the rest of the people. Later in the movie, William returns to where he was when he was a child. He returns to the village where he was raised in. He falls in love with Marion Braidfoot, I believe her name was. The film actually really does not go in depth with her name, but I believe it was Marion Braidfoot. They get secretly married. They find a way of life, and then later on in the movie she gets, or an English guard tries to rape her, and William fights him and runs away, and then tries to get her to run away, but she's captured, and then the English magistrate goes up and executes her on trial. This really makes Wallace angry, so he comes back and he riles up the Scottish villagers, and they rebel against the English guards or the English magistrate, and they go in and then they wipe them all out. This is the part where the revenge takes place, and it really shows a lot of, when you look at this part, it really shows a lot of the Scottish culture in the movie and how things were back then. And I really like the way of life, or the way they live their lives during this time period as well. The meaning of the movie is, I think it would have a sense of pride behind it, because during the movie the Scottish people showed a sense of pride where they came from and what they wanted to accomplish. They wanted to drive the English out and be free from English rule, so they can have the Scottish crown for themselves and they can rule themselves. And really, I think that still goes on today in modern times. William Wallace was I think the movie shows that he was very brave for wanting to fight for his country. He was a patriot. He was very loyal to his country. He didn't want the same thing to happen to another person, what happened to him. His wife was taken away from him just because some people from another country wanted to come in and rule their country, and he really inspired the whole nation of Scotland to come together and to fight as one against the English and be free. And that's really what I love about this movie. It inspires people to do and believe in themselves, really. I would also like to tell you some more stuff about the setting. I love the Scottish terrain, and I would actually like to go there someday and see what it was like and the whole history behind it, and see where the Battle of Stirling took place, where William Wallace was, and the first battle between the Scottish army and the English army took place. That would be really interesting for me to see, I would think. In the movie, they also used a lot of authentic looking costumes. They had realistic weapons. They had shields, swords. It was just mingled around fighting and love, basically. And I also like Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is a great actor for this movie. They could not. I don't think they could have picked a better actor for this film. Also, another reason why I like this movie is, you could say that I like this movie because in real life am the grandson of a Scottish immigrant, and I have Scottish roots in my family, and I'm just really infatuated with the Scottish culture. I encourage you to watch this movie. If you haven't watched it, you will definitely enjoy it. It's really long, and it's really good for people who like romance and action put together, and I think you'd really enjoy it.